Hey, you want to talk about football? Woo!
Happy Thursday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Of course, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by the one, the only Chicken Little himself, Erik Ruby. We have got the woolly mammoth and intern Seth behind the Mac today. Tag teaming the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Make sure you hit that.
The Mac can't handle it.
Yeah, they really can't. Make sure
Can't handle all that magic.
hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. David in the chat with the Go Devils, McKay saying this is going to be the best season ever. Definitely the best season since Frank Cush and Ben with a happy Thursday, tuning in from the ride back from Camp T.
Nice.
Guys, if you're waiting for PHNX Sun Devils content from Camp Tantazona, don't worry. Just a couple days away. We'll be up there Saturday morning. It feels like we finally figured out our driving situation.
We did, which is me driving.
So we'll be squared away. We'll be all good getting up to Camp T, assuming the car makes it.
Let's get the fingers crossed.
It could be a very interesting day, to say the least.
From the side of the road, it's PHNX Sun Devils.
Oh, my goodness. Look, it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Make sure you subscribe to PHNX Sports for all of the content that's going to be up there. But, Rubus, I was going through the schedule this morning, as I do every day, just to see if I could talk myself out of it.
Like somebody on Etsy who stole our schedule graphic and is selling it as posters. Did you buy one of those?
Did you know that, Noah? Somebody stole your graphic and has decided to make calendars out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I bought one.
Did you?
And I know. I was going to say, buddy, what are we doing? I could just print it. I have access to the literal file, but you blow it up right over the bed. Yeah. So the first thing you wake up in the morning is August 31st against
August
NAU.
30th. August 30th.
Sorry.
That's the Etsy version. That's the Etsy version.
They changed it day by one so it doesn't get copyright.
Oh my goodness. Going through the schedule and I'm going through it and I'm like, okay, what's a best case scenario here, right? Realistically.
Sure.
And I'm like, I see the tough games. I'm like Baylor, Tech, Iowa State, win, right? So like
win.
Could there be a situation where Arizona State goes undefeated, where they go 12-0 during the regular season, and how would that compare to some of their best seasons ever? Well, the 1975 season for Arizona State was, far and away the best season in program history. You go undefeated, you're 12-0, you have like a legitimate claim to the national title at that point. You won the Fiesta Bowl under Frank Cush, and like that is widely considered the best season in Arizona State history. And it's ironic because the 1975 Arizona State Sun Devils are going to be inducted into the ASU Hall of Fame this fall. So what better year than this season for the Sun Devils to outperform that 1975 team and have the greatest season in program history? But of course, there's a catch. I feel like this team has to go beyond 12-0. The players have to do certain things to actually get the fan base to agree that far and away, at the end of the day, the 2025 season was the best ever. I think the potential is there. We are going to go through it all to kind of figure out, hey, can this truly be the best season ever, starting specifically with the players and some of those records that we feel like probably need to be broken for Arizona State to actually like get to that conversation of undefeated.
Yeah, do you want to talk about it? Is an undefeated record on the table? Because
I think, we can go through it.
And here's the thing.
I went through it this morning with my cup of coffee.
When I woke up and I saw the fake Etsy poster above my bed.
August 31st.
So Dennis says, going undefeated in conference seems unlikely, but I would love to see it. Let's just get that out of the way. It is unlikely. Going undefeated, going undefeated, and there are good teams. Like going undefeated would be extremely tough.
I mean, if Arizona State is undefeated at the end of the year, we're talking about everything that's gone right, and we're realistically talking about a team that's heading into the postseason as a top 3 team, top 4 team in the country.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That being said, when this schedule was released, we went through it, obviously not knowing when and where and all of that, and our immediate thought was, could they go undefeated? Because here's the thing, like when you line them up against every single team, as of right now, they should be the favorites in every single game except for maybe on the road against Iowa State. But even then, Iowa State's not even in the top 25 right now.
Yeah.
Right? So on paper, right now, if those two played week 1 in Ames, Arizona State would be the favorite. Maybe a small favorite, but they would be the favorite. So when you go down the list, is it on the table? I think it's absolutely on the table.
Yeah, I mean, let's go through it, right? And let's say that this is Arizona State's dream season, right? You've got Sam Leavitt. He lives up to expectations.
Everything is what we have talked about it possibly being.
So you start the year NAU, right? You should walk the dog on that one, right? You shouldn't have any trouble taking on the Lumberjacks.
If they score a touchdown, I'm ranting on postgame.
I can see it. Right, so you Mississippi State on the road, the team that was picked to finish 16 of 16 or dead last in the SEC.
You should beat them.
You should beat that team. So 2-0. Texas State, they're coming to your house. You beat them last year. They're a worse team. In theory, you should beat them this year.
In theory, in reality, you absolutely should beat them. That shouldn't even be close. They should be mad that game was close last year.
Yeah,
and have a chip on their shoulder going into week 3.
Week 4 on the road against Baylor. Is there a chance?
That's the real first test of the season.
It is. But is there a chance that Sawyer Robertson and Baylor don't live up to the offseason hype?
Sure.
Okay, so that's a possibility. Dave Aranda maybe coached out of his mind last year. Maybe they don't live up to the expectations in 2025.
Is there a chance that they do live up to the hype, but Arizona State is just better?
Yeah, that's also a possibility.
I think that's probably the more realistic scenario, is that Baylor's a good team. Arizona State
is a great team. Yeah, so that's 4-0 right there.
Again, Baylor has the talent to win that game, without a doubt.
Yeah.
There are a couple games where Arizona State plays the opponents in the first 2 games of Big 12 play. I see there's talent enough to beat Arizona State. Not that I would pick them, but they're not like NAU or Texas State or Mississippi State.
So you're 4-0 back at home on a Friday night to take on TCU, a team that has a competent quarterback despite him potentially being a furry, and Josh Hoover.
That's fake, but it's funny.
It's funny. It's really
fake,
funny.
But funny.
There's a world where TCU doesn't hang around with ASU, right?
If ASU beats the crap out of them, the thumbnail has to be dog walked. It has to be.
We could think of something. We could probably even
Furry
go better
Fury.
than that. Yeah, something like that.
Furry Flurry.
I don't know. We've got plenty
Suited
of time.
up.
That's September, man. We'll worry about that.
Chasing tails.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I don't know, bro. We got to write these down.
That's 5-0, right? Is there a chance they go on the road against Utah, and Utah is not any better than they were last year, right? Where
There's a chance.
Devin Dampier doesn't live up to the hype, right?
Sure.
Or Kyle Whittingham truly is at the end of his line there for the youth. So that's 6-0.
Or is there a chance that they're better than last year, but they're good, but not great?
Yeah,
right?
that is also a chance.
It's definitely on the table.
So Texas Tech, that following game, Saturday, October 18th, the game that everybody is talking about as maybe being the premier game in college football in the Big 12 in 2025.
Yeah, maybe college game day, like
potentially college game day.
If you have to circle one game,
this is the game.
That's the game.
100%. There's a bunch of people in the chat talking about what Texas Tech did recruiting-wise, obviously nailing down, I believe, a class of 2027 5-star, potentially class 2026. I'd have to confirm on that. But they just got themselves a 5-star. Not that that has anything to do with this current schedule against ASU.
Yeah.
But there's a world where Texas Tech, it's all that money, but it doesn't come together.
Sure.
Right? Like, that's certainly a situation where, hey, last year it was the offense that was great and the defense sucked. Maybe this year they put so much money in the defense, but the offense sucks. Like, that could certainly be an issue for the Red Raiders.
They replaced their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I believe they took Texas State's offensive coordinator.
Yeah, because their OC left.
Yeah. And I mean, Texas Tech's offense was their calling card last year.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe the defense makes up for it. Maybe they have a great defense. Again, I think maybe we go through worst case scenario for all these teams. Like, realistic scenario for all these teams is like Arizona State's still better than your best.
Yeah, they're better than Houston's best.
Texas Tech could be clicking. Baylor could be clicking. TCU could be clicking. Utah could be clicking. If Arizona State is clicking, they're better.
Yeah.
They're just plain better.
They'll be better than Houston, better than West Virginia, better than Arizona. The last 2 games that there's even a conversation I think about is on the road at Iowa State and on the road at Colorado. I see a world where they beat Colorado where the quarterback situation for the Buffs is not nearly what it was last year with Shedeur Sanders, and this team struggles at the end of the season. I don't see too much of an issue with ASU winning that game. Of course, the Iowa State game is going to be the interesting one where you're on the road, a team that is also projected to be one of the best in the conference despite losing 2,000-yard receivers a year ago or this past offseason. But there's a world where Iowa State offensively is worse than they were last year, but still a good team. ASU still whooped up on them with those 2,000-yard receivers.
Like, if Arizona State wants to be a national championship contender, which we'll talk about at the end of this year.
And again, these are all hypotheticals.
Yeah, right? Like, what were we talking about at this point last season? Can Arizona State win like 6 or 7 games? Right? Things change, for sure. But when you break things down realistically, statistically, like, this Arizona State team should put themselves in a class of their own this year. If they want to surpass what they did last year and win a CFP game and compete for a national championship, like, there needs to be a very large gap of separation between them and the rest of the Big 12.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to compete with the big boys in the SEC, in the Big 10, the Georgia, Alabama, Ohio States, if you're going to compete with a Penn State or a Notre Dame or whoever it is, right? You can't just be the best in the Big 12. We saw that last year. Like, they were by far and away the best team in the Big 12.
You got to run away with it.
They blew out Iowa State, and it wasn't even a question, and Iowa State was a monster in the Big 12 last year. And yeah, sure, they gave Texas a run for their money, but would they have beaten in Ohio State? Would they have then won a game after that? Like, probably not, right? Probably not. If you want to be at the top of this sport, in the conference that you're in, there needs to be no question that tier 1 is you and the rest are a tier below.
Yeah.
And I think it's possible for this team.
I think just going through the 12, it's certainly possible that they can have an undefeated season, but I think even if you go 12-0, that's still not the greatest season in Arizona State history. It's the greatest recent season in Arizona State history, but we're talking about a team in 1975 that literally was, up for grabs for a national title. They won the Fiesta Bowl. Like, this team is far and away the best ever at ASU. So you have to surpass those things, right?
Is that
you can't
like
just go
getting
12-0.
in the national championship game? Is that what the bar is to have the best season of all time?
Before we even get into the conversation of like what the team needs to do, like as a whole, I think there does have to be certain conversations of like, if we're sitting at the end of the day going into 2026, talking about 2025, like as a whole, as the best year ever. Okay, well, what about it certifies this as the best season
beyond team success?
Beyond team success, and I think part of that has to go with like the individual players, right? Part of what made last year so special for ASU was Cam Skattebo, right? He solidified himself as single-handedly the greatest running back in Arizona State history with the greatest season in Arizona State history. And I think the players on this roster, specifically Sam Leavitt and Jordyn Tyson, who we'll talk about here in a second, like those are 2 players that need to go down as ASU greats. If ASU is going to have the best season ever, those 2 have to cement themselves as legends the way Scat did. And it's going to take record-breaking years in 2025. And as we kind of go through some of these records, like they're not far and away impossible. They're out there.
There's some tough ones.
There are certainly some tough ones, especially for those 2. Now, I didn't even include some of the defensive ones. Not to say that those guys don't have the potential to do it, but you look at some of those defensive records, like obviously Terrell Suggs, the most sacks ever, and by like a single season for
if that's
a college
being
football
broken,
player.
then we are playing in a national championship.
I would agree with you. But like we're talking single season passing yards for Brock Osweiler. It was the most ever for an ASU quarterback, 4,036. Is there a world where Sam Leavitt can do that? Where he can be the best passing quarterback in Arizona State history?
It would be 1,300 more yards. Or 1,200 basically more yards.
Which again, if you're 12-0, you get at least one post. You'll get at least 2 postseason games.
So Sam would have to be completely healthy, right? So he would have gotten an extra regular season game, And if you're playing in the national championship, that's an extra 2 games.
If you're playing in the so you're 12-0 is your regular season, then a Big 12 championship
13 games.
Then you're probably getting a bye. If you're undefeated and you win the Big 12, you're getting a bye in the CFP. 100%. If you're 12-0 and you've won the conference, you're getting a bye. They literally
made the rules so that it's gonna all be SEC and Big 10 teams.
But you'd be getting a bye. So at that point, you wouldn't play in the quarters, but you would play in the semis and then how many rounds? Yeah, there's quarters, semis, and then the Natty. So you'd play.
No, because there's another round after that because ASU got a bye. They played Texas and Texas played Ohio State and then Ohio State went on.
You're right.
And played.
So they'd get 3 games. They'd get 3 games.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, who cares? Yeah.
But yeah, at that point, you would get 3 extra games.
Yeah. So 15 games.
15, 16.
If you are.
Why is my brain not functioning?
It's Thursday. You thought it was like 7 o'clock. You're like, all right, guys, it's 7:48.
I did say that.
It's like, brother, it's 12:48. If you had a first round bye. Oh no, you'd get 3
If you
games.
had a bye, you'd get 3 games in the playoff. If you didn't get a bye, then you'd have 4 games if you made it all the way to the Natty.
Yeah.
But again, if you're 12-0 and you win the Big 12, you're getting a bye.
Yeah. So
4 extra games at the end of the season.
At most 16. Let's say realistically, if we're talking about the best season of all time, then it's 15. Okay. So 15 games. Sam Leavitt last season.
16 games.
No, if you got a bye.
Yeah, but you still have the Big 12 championship game. It's okay. It's okay. Math is hard sometimes.
Can we just play NAU?
Jake's got it. At most, it's 16 games.
So 16 games. And last year, Sam Leavitt played in how many games? He played in 11 regular season games.
And 2 postseason games. So 13.
13. So in 13 games last year, he had 2,885 yards. Okay. So we're talking 3 more games. 1,200 more yards. That's 400 yards a game.
But he's also, you got to take into consideration last year, I want to say, pulled him at the end of the Wyoming game. Yep. They pulled him at the end of the U of A game. They pulled him at the end of the Big 12 championship game.
And the Texas game was not the most in the air game. And let's pull up the graphic. I mean, first half of the season for him, he was getting acclimated. Him and Jordyn Tyson, right? So is 4,000 yards off the table? I think it's going to take a postseason run.
I think
I think this team is also going to be running through competition. I think it's also going to be running through competition this year, right? Yeah. So it's like I would be shocked if Sam Leavitt isn't sitting a couple fourth quarters, or at least last 8 minutes of a game, right? I'd be shocked if that didn't happen. At least first 3 weeks, he might just play the first half.
Yeah,
like it would take a lot, but does he have the talent to do it?
I think he's got the talent.
Does he have the weapons to do it?
Yeah.
Does he have the runway to do it? Yeah, I think so.
It would be certainly, out of all the records we're going to talk about, I think the craziest for him to break. You look at passing touchdowns, which if you're throwing for 4,037 yards, technically break the record. I feel like you've thrown for 30 touchdowns, which is a tie between Andrew Walter and Burko. At 30. Passing touchdowns in a single season. Now, Sam Leavitt last year was closer than you might think.
So he had 24 touchdowns last year.
And again, with all of the things that we said.
And that's with Cam Scadaboo as a red zone threat.
Yes, 100%.
Right? I think
he's got more wide receivers.
I think Sam Leavitt, that is certainly on the table.
I think that might be the most breakable record. For him, at least.
I think total offensive yards.
You think total offensive yards?
Now, that I think comes into play is how much is he running? Because I think, again, he has the talent, he has the ability to move, but with however many running backs you do have and how many weapons through the air you have, do they save him? And because if you're telling Sam Leavitt to run, he is giving it 100% and his ass is not sliding.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that could definitely be on the table.
Well, the total offensive yard record in a single season for ASU is held by Taylor Kelly, where he had 4,243 total yards, which is just ridiculous.
So Sam Leavitt last year had 2,885 passing yards, 443 rushing yards.
I mean, 3,700 yards through the air and 600 yards on the ground gets it done.
I mean, yeah.
But are we talking about Sam Leavitt as a 600-yard rusher 2,885 in 2025?
Plus 443. So he had 3,328 yards last year total. So he would need to have about 900 more total yards.
3,700 yards through the air, 600 on the ground gets it done.
And I think that's completely possible.
600 yards on the ground is going to be a little bit of a tough.
He had 443 last year. I mean, he would have to run a lot.
You would have to run a lot. But I mean, I think
he might be RB2, bro.
I mean, maybe, but
I don't know. I mean, maybe that one only happens if he breaks Brock's 4,000.
Yeah, if he breaks Brock's, then I think we're talking about
because
his
running might just be more quality than quantity.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I mean, I'm fine with it.
I mean, you want to protect him too. And again, they might get in their own way, being so good that they completely dominate.
Glenn says 900 more. That's 300 versus NAU and 600 versus Tucson. No problem.
You might need to split that up 400, 500.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably do that. You could probably get all 900 against NAU.
Same by the kick returns.
Oh man, look, I think again, like to move a little bit quickly here. Like obviously Sam needs to break some records, but I think Jordyn Tyson as well. I think
hand in hand.
Those are the guys
they break records together.
I think those are the guys that everyone's talking about right now. And if you look at Jordyn Tyson, like in terms of what he needs to accomplish to break the single season records at ASU, it's going to take 87 receptions to tie the record by Sean McDonald. Sean McDonald also holds the single season receiving yard record at 1405. And then the single season receiving touchdown record is Doug Allen at 14. Now, Jordyn Tyson came pretty close, honestly. I think there's a world where Jordyn Tyson breaks that single season receiving touchdown record if he plays against Iowa State.
He had 10.
And Texas. Yeah, he was 4 away from tying it. So I think that's certainly a possibility. The 1,405 receiving yards also doesn't feel totally crazy.
He had 1,100 last year.
And then the 87 catches. He would have broke the 87 catches last year.
He had 75 receptions for 1,101 yards and 10 touchdowns.
There's a world where he breaks all 3 of those if he plays last year at the end of the year.
There's a chance with again, I think if Sam Leavitt's cooking and he's cooking, let's say these are close games, they need him to play full games. There's a chance he could break that in the regular season.
Yeah. Which record?
All of them. All of them.
Yeah, I mean, if he's producing the way he did at the end of the last year,
if they need him to play the majority of most games, let's say the Big 12 is tougher than we think, then because this literally, let me read you Jordyn Tyson's first 5 games: 49 yards, 7 yards, 120 yards. That's against Texas State.
This is rushing.
This is receiving.
Oh, this is receiving.
For Jordyn Tyson.
I thought you were talking about Sam Leavitt for a second.
So 49, 7, 120, 33, 76, and then I'll add another one, 84. He only had 2 100-yard receiving games going into Oklahoma State
but then he churned
November.
Off ridiculous
and then,
numbers.
So he had 81, 99, and then the final 3 games was 176, 125, 143.
Yeah, he cooked the last 3 weeks of the year.
He had games of 49, 7, 33, 76, 81, and 84. And he put up 75 receptions for 1,101 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, but how many catches did he have in the last 3 games of the year, too?
In the last 3 games, he had 12 receptions against Kansas State for 176 yards. That was the highest of the season. 9 receptions for 125 against BYU, who, again, the 14th team in the country. Kansas State, the 16th when they played. And then 8 for 143 against U of A.
So he had 29
before
catches
he got injured
in the last 3 games of the year.
Yeah. He had 29 catches, and he had over 400 yards.
I mean, it's certainly capable. He's certainly capable.
He can. I think if with the weapons around him to take attention off of him when needed.
Yeah.
With Sam Leavitt hitting the ground running as your starting quarterback, you're telling me Jordyn Tyson needs 4 more touchdowns during that season? I think he can get that. You're telling me he needs what? 300 more yards? He can get that. You're telling me that he needs 12 more receptions? He can get that. Think about that. Through the first 3 weeks of the season, he had 12 receptions. And then guess what? Next week, he walks out with 14 total over all those weeks because he just had 2. He had multiple games with just 2 receptions in the first 4 weeks, and the other 2 games were 4 and 6. And you're telling me he can't get 12 for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean,
this guy can break every single Arizona State receiving record in the regular season this year before they even play in the potential Big 12 championship game.
And
I will stand on that.
That's just the tip of the iceberg for Arizona State, maybe putting together the best season in program history. What else would it take? Maybe some national awards, some national recognition. And we're going to talk about it on the other side of this quick break.
Just like every team needs a Jordyn Tyson, every person needs a checking account.
This is facts.
And while you want your wide receiver to work for you, you also want your checking account to work for you. And that's where Mountain America Credit Union comes into play. Of course, your Sun Devils play at Mountain America Stadium. And so you know if the Sun Devil football team can trust Mountain America, so can you. Get their MyStyle checking account because it has perks just for you. I'm talking restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, loan rate discounts, identity protection, offers on travel and events, and guess what? More.
More?
The vaunted more.
Wow.
Make my style your lifestyle. At Mountain America Credit Union, visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost. Registration and activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions. Totri. They apply.
Look, Circle K, they're trying to help you keep as much money as possible in that checking account of yours with Inner Circle. It's their free membership program that literally takes like 30 seconds to sign up for. All you got to do is go to the App Store, download the app, email, phone number, boom, that's it. Next time you pull up to the pump, you're going to type in those digits of yours, and you guys are going to start saving money, specifically on gas. But the deals don't end there. They've got deals on snacks, drinks, everything that they offer to help you guys save money every single day. And again, when you sign up for Inner Circle, your first 5 fill-ups, you guys can save 25 cents per gallon on those first 5. Not to mention, you guys are going to save money literally every single time you pull up to the pump. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Glenn saying that's a hot take. I genuinely
Glenn
don't think it's a hot take.
Not a hot take.
Oh, it's not a hot take. Okay, sorry. I can't read, according to the KD fans that are coming at me.
We don't even need to get into that. But Kay's saying, are we going to look at defensive records that could be broken too?
Maybe that's another show.
Maybe. I'm going to be honest. The defensive records are ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think this defense, I think the offense is deep, right? You can see some more individual players standing out. I feel like for this defense is going to be like death by committee for teams. Like there's going to be a Jordan Crook game, there's going to be a Clayton Smith game, then a Fight game, then a Xavion Alford game, then a Javen Robinson game, then a Keith Abney game, then a Ghost Rouser game, right?
Whatever it takes.
Well,
right?
I think it's going to rotate a lot, and I think it's going to be a lot of by committee for this defense in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, quickly, we won't discuss like if these are possible. I'm just going to give you some of the records, that way you have them. And you don't think I'm crazy for telling you that these probably won't be broken. The most interceptions in a single season by an Arizona State player. Do you want to take a guess as to how many that is?
Interceptions?
Interceptions in a single season.
Oh, I have no clue. Just tell me.
12 interceptions.
Xavion Alford.
Henry Rich in 1950. That's not getting broken. The most tackles in a single season. Do you have any guesses there? 172 tackles in a single season. That's 1988 Mark Tingstad. That's not getting broken. And then the most sacks in a single season is Terrell Suggs with 24. Obviously, that is the most sacks by a individual player in a single season in college football history. So that's not getting broken either. Field goals. Maybe we could see somebody.
Maybe Luis Sendejas gets dethroned.
Yeah, maybe 28 field goals in a single season by Luis Sendejas. Certainly something. But I think it's more likely that we see some of those offensive records broken than those defensive ones. But I think, again, on the same note of if we're talking about this far and away, and I think that's something that I want to get really emphasize here. If we're talking at the end of 2025 where it's like, hey, there's no debate, this was the best season ever. Arizona State goes 12-0. Sam Leavitt, Jordyn Tyson break a few records.
Yeah.
I think there also needs to be some national love here.
How could there not be?
I mean,
if this team is a top 5 team in the country and school records are being broken, come on, dude. If Arizona State ends up ranked higher than an Alabama or Ohio State or whoever, they almost were higher than Alabama last year. Oh no, they were. They were higher than Alabama last year, right? Yeah. So it's not crazy.
No, it's certainly not crazy.
Jordyn Tyson or Sam Levitt's they're walking away with something.
Well,
they're leaving here with something.
Let's start with the award most recently that we saw Jordyn Tyson get on the watch list for, which we do have a trending coming out later in the week, so we don't need to get too in depth on this. But the Blitnikoff Award.
Let's just
run
the
Blitnikoff Award for Jordyn Tyson. I mean, that's certainly something that I think he could win as the nation's best wide receiver.
Yeah,
I think it would take. His numbers need to be ballooned higher than Jeremiah Smith and obviously Ryan Williams for him to get that award. But I think even if he doesn't win that award, if he is a finalist for that award, then he's already done something that has never happened at Arizona State, where an ASU wide receiver was a finalist for the Blitnikoff. Brandon Ayuk was not a finalist or semifinalist. I believe N'Keal Harry was a semifinalist. But Harry. That was it, right? No ASU wide receiver has ever been crowned as the best wide receiver in college football.
If Jordyn Tyson is going to win the Blitnikoff, he needs to do what I just said last segment.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which is break every single Arizona
I don't think
State.
he needs to do it in the regular season.
No, I think he needs to do it in the regular season. Because there's also listen, and we talked about this on the mini pod that'll come out later, but he is going to have to, if him and Jeremiah Smith put up the same season, Jeremiah Smith is winning. If him and Ryan Williams put up the same season,
what I said. He needs to be,
Ryan Williams, he needs to be better than them. It can't be close because they will not give Arizona State the nod. They just won't. Even if they're a top 5 team in the country, they just won't. He needs to break those records in the regular season, I think, to win this award. And like I just said, that is possible.
It's possible. It is certainly possible. What about the Heisman? The Heisman, I think, is obviously something that is talked about as it relates to Sam. But I think Jordyn Tyson's name should be in that conversation too.
If he's in the conversation for the Blitnikoff, he's probably going to be in the conversation for the Heisman. But it might be one of those situations where they kind of take votes away from each other.
Yeah. But I think if we're talking about Tyson as the best wide receiver in college football and breaking all these records, then it is going to be a little bit more of a challenge for him to win the award because guess what? Somebody's throwing him that football.
Somebody's throwing him that football.
And it's going to be Sam.
And somebody's throwing other people the football.
Yeah. And he's a quarterback, right?
I think it's more likely that Sam Levitt is in Heisman contention. And, I'll say this. It's more likely Jordyn Tyson is in Blitnikoff contention than Sam Levitt.
Yeah, I would say so.
No, I think that is... If Jordyn Tyson is in contention for the Blitnikoff, I think Levitt will be a top 5 Heisman candidate, and I think Tyson will probably be top 10.
Ed says one game at a time.
That's right.
Ed, that's the coaches and the players can go one game at a time. But
we're just stupid podcasters.
We have the luxury to go 16 games at a time.
Yeah. No, my favorite, and Ed, you're right. You're right.
100%.
You are right. And this is not me crapping on you, Ed. But my favorite thing is that what we do does not impact this team at all.
No,
I
don't think so.
We're just along for the ride.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Texas Tech. Let's talk about Baylor week 1.
All of the things.
Let's talk about Blitnikoffs and Heismans and All-Americans. Why not?
But we'll let the team go game by game.
Yeah, no. I mean, we asked them about this stuff. They told me
they don't care.
But what are expectations? Quote. That's Kay Dillingham.
What are expectations? They're not real.
Expectations are not real. Oh, Coach.
But Coach, they are.
Coach, let me push back on that, Coach. I know that you're this is complimentary. I know you're psychotic. And I know why you're saying that, but they are real.
Coach brings up an interesting
you're in the expectations.
Interesting questions here. Does the depth of the wide receiver room hurt JT's personal award chances? Lots of mouths to feed compared to last season.
Sure. I mean, I think that's definitely on the table that there are lots of mouths to feed, but at the end of the day, it's there is a child that eats first. And that's this is not
Jordyn Tyson is the firstborn. He will be fed.
This is not the healthy nuclear family. Okay, there is a child who gets to pick what he eats, when he eats it, and how much he eats,
and he'll be eating.
And also, it's listen, man, Shimon had a great season last year, second team All Big 12 season, right? Were the other wide receivers something that really took away from Jordyn's game? Not really. X had some moments, but most of it was when Jordyn was out.
Yeah.
Melquan wasn't used as much as we thought. Troy wasn't used as much as we thought. Malik McLean redshirted. Cam Scatteroo touched the ball about every other second for Arizona State last year.
It was Tyson and Scat.
And Jordyn Tyson still put up 75 receptions for 1,101 yards, 10 touchdowns. Jordyn Tyson was not the number one option on offense for Arizona State last year. He is this year.
And I think that is the perfect example as to why it won't necessarily impact Jordyn Tyson's award chances or numbers, right? Because you go back to last year, in scat, we agree if like ASU was undefeated up until that Kansas State game, or if there was more national attention the way there's going to be this year, scat is definitely getting more Heisman conversation, right?
Yes.
He was still 5th in Heisman votes, 1 away from being a Heisman finalist in 2024, yet ASU's #1 wide receiver took 75 catches, 1,100 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns away from what Scat could have had, right? Yeah. So, but nobody said that Jordyn Tyson took away from what Scat did.
And like, well, you are like, like it's a good question, and I think you're right. Like, I do think that there is a chance that like, hey, you know, these guys are so good to keep defenses honest. Yeah. Like Arroyo's calling plays for the other guys and using Jordyn Tyson as a distraction or a blocker or whatever it is, right? Plus, they have 3 running backs they need to feed. Whatever. I think it's something.
Everybody needs to get fed.
That's certainly on the table. Everybody needs to get fed.
Devils are hungry,
but some people deserve more calories. Okay. But the thing with Tyson is that like it's August 7th, so it kind of just depends on how you shift it. Because you can also be like they'll target those guys enough to keep them honest. But having all those weapons, if in essence, is going to make Jordyn Tyson more efficient and more effective because you can't just focus on him. Like if you were going into a season like T-Mac last year, right? Beginning of the season, dude's putting up crazy numbers, and it's like at the end of the season, it's like he's still putting up good numbers, but teams know it's like, okay, let's just throw 4 on him, and then you're screwed.
Yeah,
right. You can't do that with Arizona State. You're gonna put all your attention on Jordyn Tyson, and Jaron Hamilton's gonna run off a 70-yard touchdown. You're gonna be like, crap, can't do that again, and then Jordyn Tyson's eating the next possession, right? I think that you can look at it either way, and I think both situations are on the table where he's either helped by that, where he's opened up and he's more free, and he still gets to get fed and targeted without being completely like targeted by the defense, or like Jaron Hamilton and Malik McClain and Jalen Moss and the 3 running backs and Shaman and Kamari and AJ are so good that it's like we can't not give them the ball.
It's weapons galore.
Sure. But at the end of the day, it's like none of these guys would care. None of these guys would care. If Jordyn Tyson put up the same or worse stats, but Arizona State had a better collective season, he would trade that 1,000 times out of 1,000. Would care.
Like, in all honesty. Like, if Jordyn Tyson only had 800 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns.
But Arizona State was in the national championship game?
Yeah, no one cares.
Nobody cares.
Like, Jordan certainly doesn't care.
Yeah. I think the only time that
NFL teams might care.
I think the only time that they really care is that if it's like because the team isn't being successful.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. Right. 1,000%. Right. So, and I think, again, in that conversation, the one thing that you need to take away is Jordyn Tyson needs to be fed. That's the one thing that I took away. He's hungry. Feed the man. Feed Zero. He needs it. Yeah. Is that your Jordyn Tyson impression?
Yeah. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah. There you go. So
I'm going to see him at Camp T. He's going to be like, what did you say?
Well, yeah. What are you talking about, dude?
Just kidding. They're not watching this with
Biletnikoff, Heisman. How about some All-Americans for
sounds good to
Arizona
me.
State? Do we see more than 4 potential All-Americans? Let's be honest here. Let's be real.
It's a tough. I mean, Sam Leavitt and Jordyn Tyson feel like the most likely.
Yes.
On the defense, Xavion Alford probably
certainly
feels
capable.
Like the most likely. And then it's like CJ Fight.
Yeah.
Sure, he's on the list. Beyond that,
it's going to take otherworldly
All-Americans
seasons.
go. Listen, getting 4 means that this team, I think, was undefeated. Because again, like, people are already going into this season like, yes, there's way more love for ASU than there was last year. Yes, people are accepting that this team is way better than they were before and that they're real, and people are picking them to win the Big 12. This is all great, right? From a national perspective, like, you're still Arizona State, right? Compared to all the blue bloods that are still out there. You're going to have to earn a little bit more. Call it the blue blood tax. Like,
the blue blood tax.
The blue bloods, they're like the elites. They get tax breaks. They get benefits of the doubt, right? They have to do less. You got to get a little bit more out of the mud when you're a Big 12 team who's in their second year of being a relevant football team in the last decade.
Yeah. So I have asked, we talked about 4 players there. Sam Leavitt, Jordyn Tyson.
Xavion Alford, CJ Fight.
Yeah. This is what AI says. So this could be wrong, but I looked up the record for most like actual All-American selections in a single season by a team.
Yeah.
And it is actually 6 players. Alabama did it in 2009. They did it in 2020, and Oklahoma did it in 2003. Again, this is according to AI, so it could be inaccurate.
It's happened 14 times. Or never.
6. We're talking about 4 for ASU.
But still, but like, how many times has 4 happened? I mean, I think
it's a very difficult thing to do.
Jesus Gomez, Glenn says in the chat.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good poll.
Yeah. Any offensive linemen? Ben Coleman?
It's going to be so tough for this offensive lineman to get any national recognition.
Okay. Any other besides the 5 that we've mentioned? Leavitt, Tyson, Alford, Fike,
Gomez. As All-Americans.
Gomez. As like, you can squint and you can see it.
Okay, let me really squint here.
Xavion, Keith.
I don't see corners making it because they don't get any, like, you got to think that similar to the whole scat conversation, like he came on at the end of the year. The guys that have gotten preseason love, the national media is now looking at them.
Sure.
But nobody is given a lot of hype to these guys. You
couldn't ignore Cam Scatterbo.
No,
every other tweet was about Cam Scatterbo.
If we're talking at the end of the year, like your Keith Abney's undeniable. Yeah, if Keith Abney breaks the single season record for Arizona State interceptions, yes, he's a first team All-American. That's going to take 12 interceptions.
On offense, Shaman's not going to get it. He won't have the numbers. None of the running backs.
I don't see the offensive line
getting it. None of the running
it.
backs. The only one on the offensive line that could get it is Ben Coleman. No other wide receiver besides Jordyn Tyson is going to get it. Obviously,
defensively, like if we're talking again, just based off of
like
positions,
Ghost Rouser's going to have a lot of tackles.
It would based off positions. It's going to have to be either a corner, an edge rusher, or a linebacker.
Jordan Crook's not going to get it. Keyshawn's not going to get it.
It would take a ridiculous statistical season.
It would take again because that's like the extra blue blood tax. Yes. Because you're not even like the blue blood in your.
There's a blue blood tax and an extra blue blood tax.
Buddy, welcome to America.
Wow, dude. If you've learned one thing from PHNX Sun Devils today, it is screw taxes. That's what we've learned.
That should be our like tagline.
Screw taxes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time! And also screw taxes.
Yeah, the blue blood tax apparently is a thing. But look, we have talked a lot about Arizona State breaking single season records, maybe winning some national awards and going 12-0. But we know, you know, they know, if you want to have the best season in ASU history, it's made in the postseason, which we'll be talking about on the other side of this quick break.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to adjust your thermostat. Yeah, and that's all the time with smart thermostats with APS.
You can do it on your phone, man.
You can literally do it on your phone.
Crazy.
You can do it from anywhere. I can do it on my computer, on my phone, if I want to save some money, because as we all know by now, because you all listen to the ad reads, nearly half of the energy costs come from cooling and heating your home. And a smart thermostat, well, that can help you manage your energy bills. If you're on a time of use plan, you can use your smartphone or device to automatically adjust the thermostat to take advantage of lower cost off-peak hours. And APS customers may be eligible for smart thermostats for as low as $0 when you enroll in the APS Cool Rewards program. And if you already have a smart thermostat at home, like me.
And me.
Yes.
Come on.
But mostly me.
I mean, come on.
Mostly me. Steve is eligible to enroll in Cool Rewards. Plus, free install, of course, is available at APS marketplace.aps.com. Disclaimer, you must be an APS customer, pay shipping and taxes. Other restrictions apply. Go to marketplace.aps.com for more information.
Look, there are a few podcasts around the world bigger than what Senor Rubis and I do, but one of the ones that is bigger is the one we're going to be talking about right now that you guys can actually go see live at Wild Horse Pass Saturday, August 16th. The Straight Game Podcast live.
I'm going.
With Shaquille O'Neal. Are you going to be a guest?
Yeah, I'm taking a show from him.
Oh my gosh, get ready for an unforgettable night as NBA legends Mike Bibby, Eddie House, Coach Ty Ellis, they bring the Straight Game Podcast to the stage for a special live recording featuring none other than basketball icon and business mogul, the one, the only, big man himself, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal.
This exclusive event gives fans a front row seat to Shaq's larger-than-life personality and a raw, unfiltered conversation. It is going to be an absolute blast. So where do you get tickets? Well, they're at retail pricing when purchased online or by phone, but discounts are available at the box office. Only get yours now. From now on, he will be known as Shaquille O'Neal.
No, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal's. What product is that?
Shaquille O'Neal's.
Get your Shaquille O'Neal's.
Knee pads.
They're knee pads.
The knee pads. Shaquille O'Neal's.
Oh my goodness! Look, while we're talking about Wild Horse Pass,
while we're talking about Shaquille,
yeah, we got a Cardinals residency. The PHNX Cardinals They obviously do some phenomenal work. We have the Woolly Mammoth here, who is a big rep.
Their producer kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, he's great at what he does. Let's be honest. But Thursday, kind of August 28th, I mean, if you are a Cardinals fan or a PHNX fan, you gotta be here. This is the place to be. 4:30, we've got, of course, the PHNX Cardinals live show because, that's what happens at 4:30. 6 o'clock, an hour and a half later, we've got the live season preview, which you're going to have to be there to experience.
That's for in-person only.
In-person only.
No live stream on that. No thumbnail, no headline, just conversation.
And then at 7, the night's not over. That's just getting started because we got the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft, which if you were there last year or you were watching, it gets fun. It gets animated. It's a good time. It's going to be a hell of an evening, and all diehards who attend are going to receive a free drink ticket for the event. If you wanted a discounted room at the resort for the night, call 1-800-WIN-HELA and use cards FF for 25% off a room for Thursday night. We're giving you discounted rooms. Come on, man.
We're getting you drunk and we're getting you a room.
What more could you ask for?
PHNX Cardinals residency.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I got.
They're going to be good. I mean, Arizona State's going to be the best football team in the state this year, but they're going to be close. Like, they're good. The Cardinals are going to be good this year. Unless the Noah curse continues.
Does Noah have a curse?
Noah got out of Detroit. The Pistons were good. Noah got to the Phoenix Suns show. Suns collapsed. This will be the true test of if the Noah Wilbrecht curse is real or not.
Sean says, Eric, did Espo talk to you about honoring your bet with Damon from the charity week? Need to see y'all repping U of A. I want to let y'all know, I was not here for this bet.
I don't even remember what he said.
I do think there was a bet that I was not on the show and when Damon was on the show. And there was some...
Damon was on the show?
Yeah, it was during...
Bro, where have I been?
Spirit Week.
Oh.
There was a bet made of some kind about...
we'll
you had to wear. I was not a part of this.
I don't like taking accountability, so maybe not. Yeah. And only because you asked, Sean. You're like my nemesis.
Is Sean a U of A guy?
Oh yeah.
Where
have you been?
I just it's just a green logo. Man.
Every time
U of A.
Every time I praise ASU on the Sun show, or I take a jab at U of A, Sean's like, no, not here. This is the Sun show, and I say, Sean. It's fine.
Yeah. Apparently, Erik turns into the gingerbread man when he's talking in Sean's voice. Sean. Yeah.
Sean and I are mortal enemies.
Mortal enemies.
Wow. In like a good way though. Like he's chill, but like we're mortal enemies.
You're like Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know who's who.
I feel like, given the voice, I feel like he'd be Dr. Doofenshmirtz. You'd be Perry. You're Perry. You're wearing the hat.
He does like I want to do the clicking noise, but I can't do the clicking noise.
You could try.
No.
No, you don't even want to embarrass yourself like
that? You see, I'll do most things, but I can't do that.
You won't imitate a cartoon platypus?
That's where Erik Ruby draws the line.
Oh, my goodness, the line. Man. Look, 12-0 regular season, Heisman.
You hear that, Sean?
All-Americans.
You hear that, Doofenshmirtz?
All the records.
Hear that, Doctor?
And a Big 12 championship appearance for a second straight season. Something that only Oklahoma did in the Big 12. I think, again, if you're undefeated, we're talking about the greatest season in ASU history. We're talking Arizona State running through whoever they end up playing in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be a blowout, but I think it would be.
If what we are saying is to be true, when
have we ever been wrong?
Never. I can't remember a time I've ever been wrong. Yeah. Clip that. But it's not just Arizona State has to be the best team in the Big 12. It's Arizona State has to be in a class of their own.
Yeah.
Atop the Big 12.
You got to win the championship again.
You need to be undeniable. Undeniable. Like this, like it wasn't even close. It was Arizona State and the rest of them in the Big 12.
And a bunch of awards for the players.
Yeah.
I mean, so like, does it end there? Can we say, and I want everybody in the chat to chime in, because just as the fan base, I feel like you guys deserve an opinion on this, because ultimately when it's all said and done, it's you that is going to be, in theory, deciding for history of like, hey, this was the best season in Arizona State history.
Yes.
Right? So does a Heisman and maybe a Blitnikoff, let's say they don't win. Let's say Heisman finalist, Blitnikoff finalist, you have an All-American or two. You do have a 12-0 regular season.
But you lose in the Big 12 championship.
No, you win the Big 12 championship. Okay. But then that's it. You get your bye in the CFP, and then you fall flat on your face and you lose in the first round.
Fall flat on your face, or
you lose. Let's say you lose a close game the way you lost to Texas.
Game. I'd be it ripped my heart out.
Can we say that is the best season in Arizona State history, or does it take more postseason success? Because that 1975 team had a legit claim to the Natty.
It takes more. I mean, if you want to discredit 1975, which I'm not going to do, but if you're like, well, it's, like modern football history, whatever, fine. If you want to celebrate it as that, fine. Overall, to look at the history of Arizona State, you need to surpass.
So do you need to win one CFP game? Do you need to be in the national championship?
It's weirdly different.
Do you need to win
because
the Natty?
It was just a regular season than a bowl game back then, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like there wasn't this like tiered way to get to the national championship.
Now
it was go play and we're picking the national champion at the end of the season,
which is so stupid.
Man, it's so different. Right, so it's hard to compare it. It is like it's not apples to oranges.
We didn't get this far to say it's too hard to compare.
It's
Erik.
not apples to oranges, but it's like
I didn't just rip off 50 minutes to say it's too hard to compare.
Let me finish this joke, man. It's not apples to oranges, but it's Granny Smith to Honeycrisp. Like it's the same thing, but it's different, right? And so we can compare it. So it's like I don't think it has to be like you're in the national championship game to clearly surpass. Obviously, it depends on how good the 13 games before that are, how close that is before. Does the team that you play go on to win the national championship and blow everybody else out and you're close? Like, there's context with this. I think in order to really be in contention, you need to win one CFP game. Probably with a bye.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you're getting a bye and you need to win, you need to make the semis.
Yeah, you need to win. You need to be one of the last four teams. Because like realistically, like that's about where you were in 1975 is like since you had to claim the national championship. Like, anyway.
But we're trying to beat that.
Correct. I think you need to be. I think that's the baseline for having beaten them
for the best season in program history.
It has to be. You have to be in the Final Four
of college football
and like compete.
And some of the other things we discussed. Yeah. Which, again, if you're in the semifinals...
Which, like, I think those things go hand
in hand. Yeah, I would agree. Like, I think the record certainly gets surpassed if we're talking ASU as a Final Four team in the college football playoff. I think there's legitimate discussion about those awards. You're back-to-back Big 12 champions for the first time since Oklahoma did it. Like, you're already kind of making history in your own right. Then you have done something pretty unbelievable in the modern era of college football. I think you need to be in the national championship. I don't think you need to win, but I think if we're again saying that, hey, this is by far the best single season in program history, the other team had a claim to it. You need to be in the game.
So Arizona State's national championship odds, to answer DM's question in the chat, are anywhere from plus 7,500 to plus 1,100. Or 11,000, sorry. So anywhere from 7,500 to 11,000. Highest in the Big 12, but Texas Tech, Utah, and Kansas State are right behind them.
You need to do some crazy stuff.
Yep.
But it's possible.
I don't even know what the preseason odds were last year for Ohio State. They're definitely not that low.
No, they absolutely weren't that low.
I mean, listen. You're gonna have to be undeniable. It's the blue blood tax, right? Like you're gonna have to, in order to beat the best, you can't just like match it. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
You have to look back and be like, undeniably yes, like undeniably the greatest season. And like you look at what Jake Plummer did in his time here, right? You look at last season, right? And we're talking all time, like best moments as Sun Devil fans, all time seasons, all of that. Those are not in contentions for the best season in school history, right? Those did not come up today, right? That's how high the standard is to just be in the conversation, but not just to be in it, but to surpass. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
And I think again, like there are some folks that, and this is totally exterior stuff here, not within the program, where people are like, Kenny Dillingham is reminiscent of Frank Kush.
Sure.
Well, Frank Kush is the coach of that 1975 team. He's the one that put together and orchestrated single-handedly the best season in program history, where nobody was talking about Arizona State doing what it did in 1975. If we're talking realistic, that, hey, Kenny Dillingham is that. He is this era's Frank Kush. He is a modern-day Arizona State icon. Then yeah, if you want to be in the same breath as a Frank Kush, this is what it takes.
Do you know when Frank Kush started coaching as a head coach at Arizona State University?
Well before 1975, right?
1958.
Yeah. It's here a while, dude.
That is 17 years in that he gets
his best ever
undefeated season.
Yeah.
This is year what for Kenny Dillingham?
This will be year 3. Hey man, I don't know, dilly.
The fact that this is even a conversation.
It is. It's not only a conversation, it's a whole ass podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do you think? Can Arizona State put together the best ever season in program history? It's possible.
Did you know that Frank Kush was a first-team All-American
as a player? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was saying this might have been the most glaziest episode ever, if I'm not being biased.
Probably. Frank Kush,
hypotheticals, man.
Born in Windber, Pennsylvania, played 3 years as a 5'7", 160-pound defensive lineman at Michigan State University.
5'7", 160 pounds. I better never hear anybody ever try and compare old school football to this ever again.
Hear this. From 1950 to 1952.
All-American?
Earning All-American honors in 1952, helping the Spartans capture a national championship in his last season. Frank Kush is an All-American national championship linebacker at 5'7", 160. No disrespect to the guy. But like...
That's just crazy.
That is nuts. That is crazy.
Oh my gosh. You'd never see that in today's college football. And if you did, it would be the biggest story.
5'7", 160.
As an All-American?
You have to be heavier than that to be a water boy on the team.
Yeah, you do. And like
as a linebacker.
There's not a single player on the team that's 160 pounds. Not a single player.
Can we look up the linebacker's height and weight on this team?
Was he a linebacker or a defensive lineman, you said?
He was a linebacker.
He's a linebacker? Yeah, you can.
Right?
There's not a single one that is close to what Frank Kush weighed. Not a single one.
No, I know. I want to compare. I just want to look.
Doing Frank Kush so dirty, dude. He doesn't deserve this.
I'm sorry, Frank. Tristan Bacon is 6'1", 240. Lee Fuimanoa, 6'1", 235.
As a freshman.
These are freshmen, by the way. Jordan Crook, 5'11", 220. A little lighter. Martell Hughes, 6'2", 220. Tate Romney, 6'2", 225.
Just wait till you get to Crew Jackson.
Zyrus Fiaseu, 6', 235. Crew Jackson, 6'5", 230. Keyshawn Elliott, 6'2", 235. Prayer Young Black Goat. Also in contention.
Yes, no,
for one of the best names
a real name
ever. 6'3", 225. Tyler Wigglesworth, okay? Redshirt senior out of Glendale,
also
Arizona.
Great name.
5'10", 195. Right? That guy's not sniffing the field, respectfully. And he's 4 inches.
Jeez,
he's 4 inches tall. He's 4 inches taller and 35 pounds heavier
than
the All-American linebacker in 1952. And I love Frank Kush.
Oh my gosh. Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils show.
Oh, sorry, he's a long snapper.
Let us know.
Not a linebacker.
Let us know if you think
My bad.
This
sorry,
could be
Wigglesworth.
the greatest season in Arizona State history. If you enjoyed today's content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. If you want to follow me, you can at Anthony_Totri on social. If you want to follow my passenger princess here, that's at Erik Ruby.
Beefing with KD stands as
social.
Always.
We will be back on Friday, maybe to discuss the ceilings and floors for Arizona State and the rest of the Big 12. And of course, we will be at Camp T Saturday morning. Say what's up if you are also there. Sean's saying you better apologize to Kush family.
Kush is one of the greatest coaches that has ever coached football. But if we are just comparing linebacker for his time, he's obviously one of the best. He was obviously one of the best players in the country. And respectfully to him, like there's nobody on a singular like D1 football roster that is 5'7", 160. Like, hey, listen, credit to him because I'm sure he wasn't like bigger than everybody back then, and he was still like, if anything, that's a credit to him. But
Frank Kush, certified dog,
certified All-American, certified.
Sean,
don't
legend.
try to start things,
guys.
Sean,
that's gonna do it. We'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, go Devils in peace.
We all silly like the mayor.